Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Some few hours ago, Wike met with his political family tree, political family, where he cemented the peace deal he had with Fubara alongside Rivers State Assembly members, particularly both the Speaker, Martin Semenwede, and the Deputy Speaker. Also, Rivers representatives in the National Assembly, talking about both the Green and the Red Chamber, the past Attorney Generals of Rivers State, and of course past speakers, all of which all came together. They had a quick talk, and Nigerians have started talking, political analysts have started talking. In all of this gathering was just Fubara amongst them. Many Nigerians have said so many things, but let's dive in to find out what Nigerians are saying concerning this particular move to cement what was already achieved or started with some few months back. According to what we gathered, they said the reason has become difficult for some of both riverians and Nigerians as a whole to fully accept the ongoing peace process. That is that simple. If peace is truly genuine, they said, it cannot be lopsided. A one-sided peace is fragile and bound to collapse. Some Nigerians are actually saying, they said that for reconciliation to be meaningful, it must be holistic, inclusive, and without segregation. It should extend to elders, public office holders, and supporters from both factions. Because some persons were asking, what about Peter Odele? These guys are also top politicians in their right. What about Rotimi Amechi? They are top politicians in their right to Rivers State. Let's still continue. They say one governor, similarly, Fubara GSSRS, met with his predecessor, the FCT Minister, Chief Ezinwo Nyesom Wike, CON GSSRS, and the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Many of us encourage that the peace process be extended across board. However, since the truce, we have observed that Rivers State House of Assembly resumed sitting without implementing the Supreme Court directive that all assembly members should return to the status quo. Now, it is commendable that as at October 4th, 2025, the FCT Minister, Chief Ezinwo Nyesom Wike, convened a meeting with the governor, state elders, and National Assembly members loyal to him alone. Yet it is unfair that elders, National Assembly members, and state assembly members who stood firmly with Governor Siblalayi Fubara during the crisis have been excluded, because we do have other assembly members or former assembly members, Rivers State Assembly members who were also standing with Fubara, but they were not in this particular meeting. All of them were actually Wike's political family tree. Let's continue. Now, the sidelining of Rivers State House of Assembly members such as Right Honorable Victor Oko-Jumbo, Honorable Sokari Goodboy Sokari, and Honorable Timothy Oriebiegwenha, excluding A. Edison, who resigned and now serves as Chief of Staff, Government House, makes the reconciliation process incomplete. If the governor can freely work with those who once opposed him, even individuals like Samuel Nwanosike, who insulted him publicly, then the FCT minister should equally demonstrate tolerance by ensuring assembly members loyal to him embrace their colleagues who stood by the governor. There are also key stakeholders and respected elders, including former governors Sir Dr. Peter Odele, CON, Dr. Rufus Ada George, and eminent personalities like Senator John Mbata, who stood firmly with Governor Fubara, and so on and so forth. They too must be part of the reconciliation process. True peace cannot be one-sided. Anything less risk making this truce appear as nothing more than a photo ops or a television display of peace. For peace to be lasting, all factions must be carried along without undermining those who stood with the governor. Only then can the disoriented and divided supporters, especially on social media, where crossfires persist, be convinced that reconciliation is real. The way to achieve this is by bringing everyone to the table. Anything short of that only delays another round of conflict. Nigerians are talking. My colleague is in the house. I tend to agree with this analogy. But then again, all of this depends on how Fubara is taking it. Why did Fubara mention that? Sir, please, I would like Sir Peter Odili to be here. Or I would like John Mbata to be here. Because it looks as if he just made a photograph of his political family tree and saying, we are back, we are strong, we have taken over. What's your take on this?
Well, I think that what happened there, what we saw there was a case of reconciling his family, political family. And that is what he calls a structure. And before now, Wike had his own political family. And that political family exclude the former governors, virtually all of them, starting from Mechi, Umeya. We know that before he even left office, he kind of dethroned Umeya from being recognized as a governor in Rivers State because of the short time he was in there. And this other man, that's the number one man who came in there, Dr. Odili. So those are his political enemies, I would say, or they belong to another political family. They don't belong to his family. So what actually happened, according to most of the reactions coming from his own family line, that's political family, what they are saying was that Fubara was like, how do I call him, was a prodigal son who left home and carried all the riches of his father to go and eat with the world. The world is, the other guys. So when he went there, that all the fight that went on was being encouraged by those people to make sure that they permanently sever the relationship between Fubara and his political family. So now, what had happened and the reconciliation that has taken place is like the prodigal son returning back to home. So as he's returning back home, he can't come with the world home. He must come by himself. So what we saw there was a kind of integration once again to reconfirm that we are back and, whatever had happened before now is over. Now, if in the process of time, certain people decide to come back, maybe there will be a fresh baptism for them to be integrated in. I don't know how they build that their political structure. But before now, I would say, based on series of this thing I have seen and past information about the likes of Eis was actually part of that family. Yes, I can still see in most of the videos we've seen thus far, you can see Wike himself was talking so well about Eis, that he's the king of boys, the king of the youth, and all of that. So I think he's still in a faraway country, not ready to come back home to be rebaptized and brought back into the family. So I think if his elder brother, who was a prodigal son, decides to say, Daddy, this other, my junior, who was a prodigal, to his back, who knows, they may bring him into it. Or maybe Eis will want to form his own political force, being that he has been able to capture the minds of most riverians. Because unfortunately, let me tell you the consequences of this peace. The consequences of the peace, the other side of it, the flip side of it is that there's going to be serious pity on the resources of River State. Now, in any organization where those in the audit department, the control department are at war with those in marketing and those in operation, you notice something, that the owner of the company will make huge profit and the company will be running smoothly because they are meant to serve as checkmate. They are meant to serve as watchdog over each other. You understand? But when you start seeing the auditor laughing and playing with the marketers alongside with the operation officers, very soon you're going to see fraud. Things are not going to move well because they're going to overlook a lot of things. Now, that was what the people of River State were actually enjoying. That wahala that was in between that political family, because when the family stays together, nothing leaves the family to an outsider.
That's true.
So everything is shared there. Daddy will say, bring 2 meat for me, give one to your brother. That's giving the command to the mother, to the wife to do all of that. But if the wife decides to have escape, do some escape outside, some of the things inside will be shared out to the other people. So unfortunately, that's what we're going to see. Only people recommended by the former governor, who is currently the current governor, though he's just running his state via Fubara. Because whether we like it or not, is the one that will dictate the pace of development in Rivers State. As far as we are concerned, no matter how Fubara tries to come out to say nobody controls him and all of that, whether we like it or not, Wike is the one in charge of that state. So he will decide how the development will move. And unfortunately, a lot of things are really going to go wrong. Let's just give ourselves some time. But sure that things will not, the people will not enjoy Fubara as they should have enjoyed him when he was out, because as at that time, everything was equitably distributed. Don't forget, if there's anything that Fubara always consistently mentioned was the fact that River State money belongs to River State people. But that will never be a statement again. That's the way they are right now. So the situation we are going to see is going to be quite interesting one.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Let's miss that conversation.